Hello, welcome back. This is Miniature Mike, and so this video I'm going to do something that I want to do more of. I did one a while ago when it comes to the tempo control guys. This video is on extra attack, and the series is who does it best. As it makes sense, I want to do more of these videos where I kind of explore specific types of characters or maybe powers that maybe a few people do, and I want to see who does that thing the best. In this case, who gives extra attack the best? And in the game, there's just a handful of people who give extra attack, and I think it's pretty widely accepted that it's one of the better commander effects in the game. To be able to do that, it can pair awesome with so many things, but everyone kind of does it a little different, and people are in different teams, and there's different constraints with all of them. So I thought it was fun. Let's throw the glorious Gong Droid up here because, you know, he gives the best extra attack, of course, with his power coupling, but anyway, let's jump into it. As the video goes, I'll probably have to shrink myself because of how I did the text. I'm just going to kind of go through all the different characters who give it, what their conditions are, who are some good options to put it with. I don't think I'm going to explore too many fringe options because they could generally go with anybody, but there's a lot of good ones out there for them as well. So kind of jumping into it first. So let's look at the commander effects. So we have Darth Krayt and Windu. So these guys do followers within 6 squares gain extra attack. So followers only. And those are their costs, by the way, so they're really expensive ones. Then you have Legacy, Darth Vader Legacy of the Force. You have Obi-Wan Kenobi Jedi General and a Jedi Exile. And they're a bit above. Oh, I did a little spoiler there. And they do allies within 6 squares get extra attack. So this is the part where I think I'm just going to like minimize myself a lot. Maybe even like completely. Yeah, I'll just do that for now. And then you have, they do allies, which is even better. Then you have Imperial Governor Tarkin. He does allied commanders within 6 squares gain extra attack. And then as you can see, General Grievous, Scourge of the Jedi, he does droid followers within 6 squares, gets +4 attack and extra attack. And that's pretty much it. Those are kind of the main people who do it. And there's some honorable mentions I want to throw in there. So Worm Loathsome doesn't give extra attack, but he gives twin, which is into droids as well, which is kind of analogous, sort of. And he's fantastic. So because he gives twin, he can boost everybody's double attack, and he's wonderful. He's wonderful because he helps droids, and also he can help a lot of other really interesting characters that are non-droids too. And I think that's been explored in a few different videos. But then we have the Gonk Power Droid. I won't read the whole thing, but essentially he can give someone who's a shooter an extra attack, essentially. And a lot more stipulations to that, but at the same time, it can be kind of fun. It's something to keep in mind. I don't think people ever use Gonk Droids anyway, but they're fun flavor in the game in general. So first one, let's take a look at Krayt. So Darth Krayt, as you remember, he does extra attack for followers within 6 squares. So various Sith Trooper types can get affected, which is okay. I mean, it's fine, I guess. Like giving it to Sith Troopers, it's not too exciting. You can give it to Darth Maul Separatist. You can give it to Darth Maul Sith Apprentice. So you could do 4 attacks with Vapad, which is really fun. The nice thing about doing 4 attacks with Vapad style is it's when you do 4 and your chance of critical hit is 15% each time, that's even better than guys like Luke Skywalker, Hero of Yavin type of thing. Like your probability of hitting a critical hit each turn is like 45%. It's crazy. So giving it to him could be pretty cool. And he's not that expensive either. So that could be a really nice critical hit machine. Darth Talon, you could give her 4 attacks because she already has twin attack. Kind of helps her damage output problem a little bit. That's just an option. Cadus could be crazy, so you could get 6 attacks, especially if you use the anti-flow walking and you set it up correctly. Pretty scary. I like that combination, but he's really expensive, so these are just a lot of expensive combinations. Naga Sadow, he could do 3 attacks with poison plus 20, lots of damage. Other ones, Cyan, he can get a little bit more useful for his cost. Bane could be scary as well. And so these are just kind of the Sith options. This would work with a variety of awesome people as well. But I think I like this. The one problem I see, he's really expensive. And the other people he gives it to, really expensive too. So you're just kind of in a conundrum where, yeah, you can do some cool stuff with it. But it'd probably work better in higher point squads anyways. But I mean, Darth Krayt by himself is a really nice mini. And these are really, really nice minis too. I really especially like the mixture with Darth Maul Separatist Assassin. Because Maul's cheap. And you can really, really up that chance of critical hit, and I like that a lot. But Krayt, a solid entry. Let's move on to General Windu and Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I'm going to do Windu first because Kenobi can do everything Windu can do, plus more. So first off, Jedi Master Kit Fisto could be pretty fun, getting 6 attacks total, since he has the twin and double already. Man, I love how I did these out of order. So Anakin Skywalker, Champion of Nelvin can be nice. You can do the 4 attacks because he already has twin. Clone Trooper with a repeating blaster, very cool. If you work with Commander, Cody, if you work with Rex, then you could have a potentially a repeating blaster with 5 attacks, with has deadly attack and flurry attack and greater mobile attack, and that's kind of one of the most absurd kind of like gun platforms in the entire game, pretty much. But it's kind of fun. It's a really, really fun idea. I think it makes more sense to do that with Obi-Wan though, because he's a little cheaper, but it's an option. You have the Senate Commandos. You can give them, bump them up a bit, make them more scary. Shakti Jedi Master can be really, really scary. Already is good in crowds, but can do a lot of damage with the crowd fighting. Taking it a step farther with Obi-Wan, you could do something, you can make Rex insane. So this guy can make Captain Rex, who already has double twin, give him triple twin, and that's just ridiculous. That's disgusting. And then, all Yoda buffs are huge. Grandmaster, so all Yoda, huge buff. So any Yodas you give it to gives them lots of attacks. Can be pretty scary. So General Skywalker, that can be a lot of fun one too. He can do momentum with 3 attacks. So momentum, charge, he has greater mobile attack, but he can attack 3 times. Really, really nice. All clone commanders are just more potent than they were before, basically. Some other ones you can fix some otherwise decent single attack clone strike Jedi. So that's true. There's a lot of clone strike Jedi that are like, they are kind of cool, but they only attack once. This can make it a little more interesting and usable. I won't go to this one just yet. So these are just like a couple of examples. There's a lot more examples I didn't go through. I just kind of went through the ones that I thought would be some of the most kind of dynamite, really exciting ones. But as you can see here, like Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's a little cheaper anyway, and he can do everything Windu can do and more. So I think that's in some ways makes Windu a little less relevant, but he's still a good mini in different ways, of course. So let's look at Vader. He's on the Empire. So Vader can do Rowan Fell. He could give Rowan Fell 4 attacks with Opportunist. Really nice combo there, although it's a very expensive combo. The Imperial Sentinel can be kind of fun. You have this giant brute that has melee reach and can do lots and lots of damage, so that's a very fun one. Storm Commandos, pretty sweet. Give them 3 attacks. Definitely want to mix in something like Thrawn to make him even better. Emperor Palpatine Sith Lord could be a 4 attack guy, so it can make him even better. Kir Kanos can be pretty epic bodyguard. So there's just some examples of some people that Vader can help. Again, a lot of the fringe examples as well. So pretty solid options. I was actually a little surprised. I wasn't really, besides troopers and all those kinds of people, I was expecting a little bit more from Vader, but then you realize most of the Empire anyway is like Vader repeats, plus lots of troopers and other things as well. And I think these are some of the most scary people to give extra attack to, but there's some other ones out there. Jedi Exile, I think, is a really fun one because he's so cheap. So Jedi Exile is by far the cheapest character that gives extra attack, and I know he's kind of locked onto the Old Republic, but he still has good Old Republic options, and then like everybody else, can do fantastic things for Fringe as well. So I didn't add the animation here. So Mira, you can help her do a lot more splash damage with 4 attacks. Really fun, really scary. Karth can be 6 attacks. I don't really like Karth anyway, but making him do 6 attacks is better than nothing. Lord Hoth can be pretty scary. Helps Bastila out a lot. The Jedi Battle Master can be crazy, so I like mixing him with Jedi Battle Masters. They can do triple, and they're already very, very powerful minis. And like I mentioned, he's cheap. He can mix fantastic with a lot of other characters as well that are fringe. So last one, I think, no, there's 2 more. Tarkin. Tarkin can basically help all the Vaders out. He can make Rowan Vader. He can help Rowan Fell just like the Legacy Vader can. He's a really cheaper option to buff, Palpatine Sith Lord or other Palpatines. But he doesn't have too many options because I think it has to be a unique commander, if I remember correctly from the very beginning. So it's kind of, I like what he can do. Like if you just want Vader to be really scary or something like that, use him. He's really cheap and he can be fantastic for that. Just mix in Masamada, keep him in the back, and then that commander of yours can be really scary. Otherwise, it's just kind of is what it is. And then the last one is Grievous. So as you know, The problem with this Grievous is he's kind of overshadowed by the other one. They're different. This guy actually has some utilities as well. When, say, characters already have twin attack, well, you can give him extra attack, and you can give him the +4 attack, so it's really nice. You can mix him with that B3 Ultra Battle Droid for 4 attacks. Any tank can be better. You know, for example, the LR57, which comes out with the set, is specifically great with him because of that. Maybe like Telosian Tank Droid could be fun too. And then Commando Droids are better because they already have twin. So this guy, remember, it specifically affects droids, so it's very restrained, but it can help those droids tremendously for sure. So let's see, in my opinion, I'm curious what you have. This is the part I'd love to hear what you guys think about this, because I'm sure you could ask a bunch of people that all have different ideas. But I'm going to start with Grievous. Great, can help his troops a lot, can really do some good things, but it's largely overshadowed by Droid Army Commander. But he still has some good options, but he can't affect any fringe characters, so that's kind of a bummer, unless they're droid, of course. Next, I'd do Windu. The thing with Windu is he's awesome, he's a good fighter, he's very expensive, he doesn't necessarily make anyone else out of this world crazy. Obi-Wan Kenobi Jedi General can make all those other characters he's missing out on even better. So, unfortunately, he still has some good options, but not my favorite, and he's so expensive. And then next is Tarkin. So I do like him, but he's cheap, but he's very limited to very specific characters, which isn't a bad thing. If you choose the character correctly, there's an awesome character that can dish a lot of damage, and they are a commander. Tarkin could be a really nice combination with them for sure, but it's very specific. Vader Legacy the Force, that thing's nice. You have a lot of solid options with the Empire, and then you can expand it to Fringe, and then you can mix it with Mas Amedda for the extra range. You can do that, of course, with Tarkin and Windu. A lot of people get affected by Mas, as you can see. Next, I'd say Darth Krayt. So even though, like I said, there's limited followers, and he gives it the extra attack to minis that become crazy. So that's the kind of what I'm going with Krayt there, is it's only followers, and he's on Sith, but the people he can give it to can do some ridiculous stuff. And he's also really strong himself. So I could totally see us flipping between Krayt and Darth Vader Legacy the Force personally. But there's just some really scary stuff that he can give it to, and they can be really fun. That means who's in second place and who's in first place. So who's in second place? I went with Jedi Exile. So the reason I went with Jedi Exile here, I was thinking about first place because of how cheap he is, but that's part of it. He's so cheap. Giving people's commander effect is awesome. He has good his combinations with Old Republic doesn't scream incredible. But then he can also do a great thing with fringe characters, of course. So that's kind of where I see him being a cheap character, giving some awesome fringe characters extra attack. But the fact that he's on Old Republic for me kind of holds it back a teeny bit. And then the last but not least, I think Obi-Wan Kenobi Jedi General. I think he has so many incredible great options that are just deadly. Like he can mix with Moss for all the extra range, and because he affects allies, you can literally affect every single character. Like I told you, giving it to the extra attack to so many characters. Giving it to Captain Rex, for example, is disgusting. So I think at the end of the day, I'd give it to Obi-Wan Kenobi Jedi General. I just think he has so many incredible people he can give it to, so many crazy options. And that's kind of where I'd leave it. So anyways, I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Like what do you think? Who do you think's the best one? Who do you think's the worst one? I'm sure you could mix this up several different ways, but when I was thinking about it, this is just kind of how it landed for me. So anyways, I don't think I have anything else. That's it for now. Until next time, have a good one.